Hello, and welcome to Al Jazeera's special health update ahead of the Montreal World Health Organization conference. I am Asif Landabaz-Zardari. Fahim Mahim found a better paying job. Our other top story takes us to Syria, where an increase in the violence has pushed an ever-increasing number of refugees across the border into Turkey. Last week, the WHO announced that it had been able to provide supplies to residents of Homs, the opposition's stronghold, but with the severe lack of doctors and working facilities, many feared that the situation might have veered out of control. We go now to our intrepid reporter in the field, Samir bin Dalidaswati.
Hi Ali. The civil war heading towards its third year shows no sign of abating. Despite concerted efforts from the international community, including from Syria's main ally, Russia, to pressure the Syrian government into allowing health workers to enter the country, hundreds of thousands of Syrians are without food, water, or protection. The UN estimates that over 250,000 people in Syria have no access to health care. I spoke with some local medical workers who told me that they were unable to provide care for people suffering from chronic conditions, mental health issues, or any problems requiring specialized care. With more than 3 million Syrians having fled the country, this puts a huge amount of pressure on Lebanon, Turkey, and Jordan, which is stretching the resources of these countries to the breaking point.
Thank you, Samir. Our feature story will focus on how the global community responds to natural disasters. The tsunami in Korea is only the latest in a consistent string of natural disasters that have had huge impacts on developing nations. When these disasters happen, the international community quickly gets involved in relief efforts. However, this help is usually short-term, and the affected countries are left to deal with rebuilding their infrastructure and economies themselves. To further explore this topic, we welcome to the studio communications and public health expert Professor Zara Katamatemari. Dr. Katamatemari, welcome.
Hello again, Asif. Your hair looks different.
So, Doctor, as you have yourself stated in numerous books, disaster relief often does not help the country actually deal with the outcomes of a disaster. Can you walk us through that?
Well, obviously, in the days following the event, the countries received a substantial amount of help for their relief efforts, clearing the rubble and finding survivors. Beyond that, the international community is inconsistent in its aid. As with other forms of aid, the priorities are often dictated by forces that do not have anything to do with the countries in need. For example, for many Western countries, their disaster response actions are dictated by media organizations.
Can you expand on that?
So, while countries rallied around the Philippines to aid in the relief efforts in the weeks following the disaster, they basically ignored the Philippines once the media moved on. There is a consistent pattern with this.
Are you saying that the media is at the root of the problem?
No, but they are not helping. Governments respond to what is discussed in the public sphere. Large media corporations only pay attention and report when the story is exciting and fresh. They are not interested in following up. Once the media moves on from a story, people stop donating and governments move on to other projects, and the country that suffered the disaster is basically left to its own devices. While no country should be responsible for another, there needs to be some kind of framework for dealing with these situations in the medium term. Otherwise, it will keep happening.
Wise words from one of the most respected scholars in his field. Thank you for your time. Well, that is all the time we have for this special report. Be sure to follow us on Twitter at MonWHO Media for all the latest updates on the goings-on at the MonWHO conference. For Al Jazeera, I am Asif Landabaz-Zardari.